Hi there, welcome back to the Wake Mzansi YouTube channel. My name is Zondo and I can't wait yet again to dive on this very interesting topic that I know some of you did perhaps guess it, but definitely we had to bring about this one onto our very exciting and growing channel as well. And with that being said, really thanking everyone at the moment who's been subscribing, liking, as well as sharing our content. We do hope and see that we will continue to grow, and we'll also, we'll keep to our promise that we'll still deliver topics that are engaging, one that are important for you and I to connect with on a week-to-week basis. With that being said, today we want to look at the plan that Eskom has to increase the price of electricity. You might have read about it, you might have seen it on the news, but a 44% increase on electricity tariffs does not sound good at all. I think looking at how 2024 has been, it's really been a year that people have also mentioned that this is like kind of 1994, but it's a 2024. I think due to the nature of events and how things have transpired. And it's important, I think, to start here as well to say, look, back then, again, around 1994, that the price of electricity in South Africa was so cheap. In fact, globally as well, we're recognized for exactly that. And with that also comes the fact that perhaps there were few people, indeed about 33% of South Africans, that had electricity. Hence, when the ANC government took over, there was a promise that they wanted to double that up at least by 2000. And yet today, this very country finds itself struggling for electricity. And it does beg the question to say, what of our measures causes us to say that as we serve more, our service also decreases? That the quality that we have in as far as everything is concerned, because I mean, this is part of service delivery 101, at least regardless of where you stay. And that brings about so many other touch points that we've seen in and around Eskom. If it's not one transformer exploding, it's another issue that rises somewhere, and there's always interventions that were brought about. Hence, we saw for the very first time and were introduced to load shedding. I think I remember a time where you would get the app, it would tell you when you might have electricity, when it's coming back. And that became a part of our life, a part of a norm that we were not entirely used to. And it was heavily packed, especially during COVID. And though indeed we also know, and I think I want to pose this as a general question as well, to say, we too as citizens have a duty and a responsibility to also care for the services that are provided by our government. That includes the safety of these services, but as we all know, there are many cases of cable theft, which does then affect electricity supply in many different areas. Above and beyond, we also do carry the duty to pay our bills as well on a month-to-month basis. This is all measures that we too must then carry. And we look at now currently where the municipalities, the amount of money that we owe Eskom, and the debts that keep on increasing due to the fact that we're also not playing our part. Because it's one thing to look at that and say, well, it's so easy to just say, shoot, the government have provided this and so forth. But if we too aren't actively playing our role, we are merely adding fire onto this very issue that is burning at the moment. With that though, there still is a bigger question at hand, and that is to say, what has our government done since then to ensure that we get quality supply in terms of electricity? What measures have we taken? I mean, there's so many alternatives that are there that can help alleviate our crisis when it comes to energy. And I want to perhaps pause here and ask you as well, do you think that there's another alternative, another way in which we could actually solve this very issue that we're having at the moment? And could these solutions, I guess, that are being proposed to say, perhaps, look, if we're also charging the very ordinary citizens that have failed to keep up with the current bills, and now we're topping that up by 44%, who gets to suffer here? Is it the high prominent figures? Is it yet again the middle class that will have to pay even more to get electricity? Is it also coming down to say those with money will actually get electricity? And unfortunately for you that may not be able to afford, you might have to live on borrowed electricity. What's your take just in and around this? So what we are seeing though is that there's a new foreman band that have brought about improved solutions, especially when it comes to maintenance of our power stations. And that too has, I think, since beginning of 2024, at least since late March, we've seen very less in terms of load shedding, though there's a bit of load reductions here and there. But I think the biggest question of them all is, why did it take us so long to also arrive at this very solution? If clearly that this is something that has been bothering us as a nation for a very long time, that we only arrive at this destination now. And I mean, we've seen a lot of campaign, I think warnings that were sent to non-payers, campaigns as well saying, look, guys, if you also don't play your part, we will switch off your electricity. And those are good measures, and we are seeing the turnaround and the benefit, because I mean, we want our streets on at all times to avoid many issues, including safety and so forth. And hence, then I wanted to say, if this is the plan at hand, will it be sustainable, or will we still yet again experience this very challenge that we have at the moment? And can the new leadership actually sustain itself as well as the power station so that we can receive running lights almost at all times? So this is it in as far as the current Eskom increase is concerned, as well as what this means for us. And I think the biggest question of them all is, are we getting to a point where electricity will be available to only those that can pay, and those that cannot, unfortunately, won't have access? Please share with me your thoughts, views on this topic. Remember to like, subscribe, and we promise to bring you yet another exciting one very soon. For now, goodbye.